Hello and good afternoon, everybody. My name is Becky. I'm one of the Health and Care and Wellbeing Advisors here at the Charity for Civil Servants. And today's session, as part of our Carers Week, is from Carers UK on digital resource for carers. And I would just like to take some time just before I hand you over to our presenter today to just go through some housekeeping. And today, we are slightly using different teams, so that means the chat function isn't available. But what you will see is a Q&A tab at the top. So if you're, please use this instead, and you could submit any questions and comments that you will have, and you can do this throughout the session today. And at the end of the session, we will then have time to go through your questions and comments. And also, if you would rather not show your name, please use the anonymize function before posting anything in the Q&A, and your details will not be shown. Closed captions can be added to your personal view as well. So I will now hand you over to our presenter today, and I'll take myself off screen.
Hi, everyone. So nice to be with you on the first day of Carers Week. My name is Georgie and I'm from Carers UK, and I'm here today to kind of walk you through the digital resource for carers. It's a platform website that has a lot of information, support, and advice. But like I said, it's the first day of Carers Week. I want to wish everyone a really happy Carers Week. If you care for a loved one, a neighbor, a friend, do any minimal or huge amount of caring, and this week is all about you and feeling recognized. There is a lot of support within the Charity of Civil Servants. If you don't feel that you've got the support that you need, please do connect with the Carers Network. Connect with other people on this call. There is support available. If you feel like you're drowning, we are here to help, and make sure that you feel valued and that you can continue to work and care. Like I said, I'm from Carers UK, so I'm just going to give you a little bit of background about Carers UK. We are a national charity. We had our 60th birthday last year. So we support carers throughout the United Kingdom. We've got an office in Wales, Northern Ireland, and Scotland, as well as here in England. We campaign for lasting change. So we have a team that are dedicated to carers' rights and improving carers' rights across the board. Our most recent achievement was the statutory right for carers' leave in the workplace. That's 5 days. Carers' leave is now a statutory right. The next thing is to get that paid, and obviously that is the bare minimum 5 days. We'd love to see that increased across the board. We're a membership charity, so you can join, you can become a member of Carers UK, you can connect with other carers. If you are feeling isolated and alone, I'll point you through to our forum, but also a space where you can join and meet with other carers on a regular basis to chat through any kind of just the daily struggles that you might have, but also, you know, the highs that you have as a carer. So we campaign for lasting change, we connect, and we always looking at ways to innovate, to reach carers more effectively, to make sure carers are feeling supported and they are not alone. So that's a little bit about the charity. If you're interested, please do check us out. I can pop our website in the chat for you. But today I'm here to talk about the digital resource for carers, which is a platform that the Charity for Civil Service subscribe to. Like I said at the start of this presentation, the site is about information, support, and advice. So it's about making sure that you as a carer feel that you have all the right information to feel supported, to be able to care effectively, and make sure that you're making you're taking advantage of everything that is available to you. So I'm going to share my screen, and what we're going to do is we're going to go through the site together. We're going to look at the different subject matters. We're going to look at some of the content that we have on the site, and then I am going to highlight our Jointly app, which is a care coordination tool that is app-based, which can also help you as a carer manage care more effectively and communicate more effectively. So I'm just going to bring the site on screen. I hope everyone can see that. So to access this platform, you need to go to carersdigital.org, and there is a code to be able to access the Charity for Civil Servants platform. That code is CFCS. Once you've popped that in, it will ask for your name, surname, your email, a password, and you create an account and you land on a page like this. So to start with, I just wanted to highlight my profile section. You don't have to add lots of details in about your personal situation or your name, for example, but what is really useful is that you can see your recently downloaded guides, e-learning, anything fact sheet related that you might have looked at, any short format videos that you might have looked at will all sit here. So it's almost like I would view it as a course book. You know, you can see what you've looked at, you can dip in and dip out of things. We know that caring, you're time poor, incredibly busy, so it's a great place for you to come and be able to see what you were looking at previously or what you kind of got halfway through. So if we go back to the main page, I'm just going to scroll to the bottom because I do want to highlight the charity's additional support. There is a lot of information and support at the charity, so please do check it out. You'll see here you've got help and advice, obviously support for carers, but also money worries, relationship counselling, health and well-being, and then additional kind of stories. So I know that I work closely with Linda. There is a lot of support out there. If you are struggling and you need some help and advice, please do check out the charity's information and support. I also just wanted to highlight the quick links here. Join Carers UK. If you're interested in becoming a member of Carers UK, if you click this link, it will take you to our joining platform where you can go ahead and become a member of Carers UK. We do host a number of online meetups throughout the year. They're care for a cuppas, so that's just having a coffee with one another, having a chat about could be the daily struggles of care, like I said, or it's the real highs that you have with caring. We also do a number of different sessions throughout the year. It could be a yoga session, it could be a Pilates session, but it also could be a power of attorney session, or how to access benefits, or how to go about accessing a carer's assessment. So we do information sessions as well as kind of fun, light-hearted exercise sessions. And then finally, our forum. We have a forum where you can connect and talk to other carers. We feel like it's a really important space for people to be able to share their caring situation. It is monitored, so we monitor it and we make sure that if there are any safeguarding issues there, they are kind of actioned from our end. But back to the platform, you'll see here is kind of where we have Carers UK's information and advice. So we always kind of spotlight a number of resources, and that does change month to month. This month it's jointly, but also our Carers Allowance Overpayments Support Hub, which we launched this month. A great place if you are having struggle, if you're struggling with overpayments or Carers Allowance. You'll see here that we have got 7 different sections, 5 different sections that focus on a subject matter of content. We then have a media hub and a blog. So what I think the best way to do this is to kind of go through each section individually. I'm going to highlight some of the resources that I really feel like could benefit or might be of benefit to you. And then we'll click on to jointly and have a look at jointly. So health and well-being, it really does say what it does on the tin. It's all about your emotional health and your physical well-being. So if you are struggling with both physical health and emotional well-being, this is a great place to come and have a look at how you could better manage things like stress. As you can see, we've got a short format video. This clicks through to YouTube. We present our content in a number of different formats. Could be a downloadable guide, could be a link through to our website, could be a video, and it can be an e-learning. So you can consume the information in a number of different ways. That's easy for you to kind of look at. So coping with stress, for example, this video will look at the kind of the responsibilities of caring and look at how to make someone feel less stressed, what practical solutions to help them with their own emotional support. I'm going to click through to our e-learning coping with stress to give you a kind of idea about what our e-learning looks like. But for example, here's an e-learning coping with stress. You'll see it's got 4 modules and it's only 15 minutes. This course can actually be downloaded as an audio guide, like most of our e-learning. So if you are time poor, but you commute to work in your car, you could download this as an audio guide and listen just on your commute. It's a great way of being able to still get the content, but not eating into your precious time. You'll see that we've got kind of got course outcomes, then you've got the 4 different areas that it looks at, and then obviously we've got helpful resources from this course. On all of our e-learning, if we've used any outsourced information such as from the Mental Health UK, from the NHS, from Mind, we will always put all these resources here. They're incredibly helpful and we know they're really, really key when someone is doing our e-learning. You'll see here we've got more e-learning such as kind of managing sleep, managing time, and I just want to highlight at the bottom, you and your well-being. This is a really fantastic e-learning course which looks at lots of different aspects of your well-being, your emotional, your physical health, but it really looks at building strategies to kind of maintain a good balance for yourself whilst caring for someone else. We have a look at support for caring. This is all about building networks, but also understanding your rights as a carer. So I'd like to highlight the Upfront Guide to Caring. This is a really simple tool that really helps someone understand the maze of benefit entitlements. So essentially, we ask you a series of questions, what you've got currently in place, and then we email through a little guide which highlights what potentially might be available to you that you haven't accessed into. You'll see we've got an e-learning course that's all about your rights as a carer, so the right to a carer's assessment, what your statutory rights look like in the workplace, and it also gives an overview of any financial support available to unpaid carers. You'll see this section has a lot of information. So we've got a conditions hub that's finding specialist support, whether it's dementia, cancer, neurodiversity or strokes. This is a great place to come and find that kind of specialized support. We have a lot of information on kind of having a care conversation. So what does that look like and how do you go about having that care conversation with your loved one? I also want to highlight Access Ava, which is a fantastic tool. Access Ava has been designed it's almost like a chatbot, but it's an AI chatbot, which helps a carer understand their legal rights. So if you were a carer, you could type in, what is my legal right in the UK? Or I'm looking at my rights in the workplace. And Access Ava will go ahead and give you all that information that you need. But one thing that it does, which I feel is so useful, is it will actually go ahead and write template letters for you. So if English isn't your first language, or you struggle with writing, you struggle with communicating, it's not ever been an area of confidence, Access Ava will not only look at your rights, it will actually help you go ahead and design a letter, whether it's a letter to your HR or your management, or it could be a letter to the local authority or doctors. Access Ava will actually go ahead and create you a template that you can just literally send off straight away to the people that you need to communicate to. So a really fantastic tool. I would really recommend having a look at Access Ava, especially if English isn't your first language or you struggle to communicate with writing. It's a great place for you to come and kind of get those templates that can be really, really useful. And then here, the only thing I would like to highlight kind of lastly in this section is kind of caring and life after caring. It's an incredibly important subject matter that we actually don't think about, and we don't talk about the bereavement side of it, but also how your life changes. So really important aspect that we've kind of highlighted in this section. Thirdly, we've got a section on financial planning. So again, does what it says on the tin. It's all about finance in here. So you'll see we've got an e-learning course which has help with finances for carers. This will give you an overview of all the financial support available to unpaid carers, who they look after as well. So if you're looking after someone who can claim benefits and entitlements or PIP, this course will help you understand what they're entitled to as well as what you're entitled to. And then we also outline the other benefits and other other financial help, such as kind of help with debt, household finances, and disability related expenses. We've also got a benefits calculator, which is a fantastic tool if you are not familiar with the benefit system or what you can access out of the benefit system. You'll see that we've got a number of videos about claiming carers allowance, PIP, can you go ahead and claim attendance allowance? So please do come and check these videos out. They're about 2.5 minutes long, but they are really great at just simplifying what that subject matter is. What is universal credit? How can you go about claiming it? Lastly, I really want to highlight managing someone's affairs. Incredibly complex subject matter. A lot of people struggle with it. I know I don't have power of attorney in place, and I should do it for myself. How to go about managing someone's affairs and the different ways that you can go and do it is quite complex. And we've really tried to make it as easy as humanly possible. So you'll see we've got a short format video, managing someone's affairs, but we've also got an e-learning which looks at understanding the different ways you can go about managing someone else's affairs. What does mental capacity look like in England, Scotland, Wales, and Northern Ireland, and how to keep someone kind of safe. So please do check out that e-learning course. And then finally, we've got thinking ahead, the cost of care and support. That really looks at your household income and looks at ways that you can manage your household income to make sure that you are not going into debt. We know that sometimes carers find themselves in tricky financial positions because care does cost a lot. And we want to make sure that carers do not end up going into debt. I'm not going to click on technology and caring, but it's actually, we can have a quick look. It has got an e-learning, which really looks at kind of home applications and technology, which is available to make the person that you're caring for potentially live independently from you. Or it just gives you peace of mind when you're out and about or doing things or at work, that the person that you care for, who might be at home, is kind of safe and well, and it's got fall detectors, all those kind of technology enabled solutions, and then it's also got jointly, which I will share my screen and kind of go through jointly in a minute. The last kind of section we have is working and skills. So that is all about employed, unpaid carers. So if you are a carer and you're also employed, what are your legal rights in the workplace? How can you go about getting flexible working? What does emergency leave look like? How do you go about speaking to your manager about emergency leave if you're in those situations? We really don't want carers leaving employment. We want people to be able to feel that they can work and care. I think it's some crazy statistic, like 600 carers leave work a day. So we really want people to stay in employment. And it's all about kind of working with your managers, your organization, to make sure that you are working and you can continue to work and care effectively. So we've got an e-learning that looks at kind of your legal rights, flexible working, leave arrangements, a fantastic e-learning if you just want to understand the basics of what is available to you. We've got kind of how to go about requesting flexible working, which you can do from day one. That recently went through Parliament last year. And then we've just got supporting carers at work, the 3 different guides. So your rights at work, the equality advisory and support service, and then also supporting carers at work. And then we've got a short guide on thinking of leaving work. Like I said, we really want carers to stay in employment, and it's making sure that people are considering all their options when they are thinking of leaving work. Have you spoken to your manager? Is there a situation where you can take a short-term leave and come back post, we know that carers go through crisis points and crisis moments. And, when you're in a crisis moment, sometimes you can't feel that you can work. But it's important that you have taken steps to make sure that, every option has been explored. We have a media hub, which looks at all the different medias that we've got. So we'll have all our e-learning in one place, and then we've got all our short format videos in one place. And then finally, the blog. Our blog is just kind of a spotlight on caring. We talk about the daily challenges. It might be a carer story that we're highlighting. We have information on how to kind of prepare for a benefits assessment. So we do a lot of different subject matters, stories, personal experience in our blog section. And then I think I've still got a little bit of time, but I wanted to highlight Jointly because Jointly is a fantastic app. It can really help someone manage care and coordination for their loved one. So Jointly is downloaded on apps or Android, or you can access it through a web browser. You'll see I'm here and you'll see all my circle members. My circle members in a different scenario they're my colleagues, but in a different scenario, it could be private care that you might have arranged. It could be family members. It could be a group of carers that come in and support your loved one along with family members and friends who might help you. So you can have a circle, a team of people all accessing this app, this content, this information. So you'll see in kind of the profile section, we've got likes, dislikes, dietary requirements. These can be edited to what you feel is needed or what information you want people to know about. The beauty of Jointly is it's all about messaging and coordinating and making sure that care is managed efficiently. So you can post thoughts, messages, updates to the group. Popped in on Dad on the way home. He was looking really well. You can literally send that and it go out to all your family members. Or you could post an update, Dad's appointment went really well. You can create groups within the app. So like I said, some people might have carers that come in and support them with their loved one. You could have a group of the people that you use to support, so you could all communicate together on this in this space. But you could also have a group with all your family members because you don't want all those personal private details maybe being shared with the carers. So you can set up different groups and have different people accessing the information that you want. And then you can also direct message. So this is just a way of communicating care about a loved one. You're not going through WhatsApp. You're not going through 200 calls with family members. You're just posting all that information right here, there, and people can get the updates instantly. We have a calendar, so you can have someone's personal life, all their social engagements. You can also have all their medical appointments. It's a really useful place because, not everyone wants to be kind of updated on what someone's doing, but actually they can go on and see that Dad's being entertained, or he's away this weekend, or he's had his hospital appointment. I'm going to check in with so-and-so. We have an opportunity to write notes down, so you can create notes for people. You can actually task people. So you could task your brother to drop in on your dad on the way home, make sure he's okay. You could task someone to make sure that your loved one has had the medication that they need. Have they had have they done X, Y, and Z? We've got a section of reminders as well as contacts as well. So these are all the contacts that are part of the circle, but then obviously you've got key contacts such as NHS, Pets at Home, and the pharmacy clinic. We also have a place where you can hold someone's medication. So that's all the medication that someone might be taking right now, but then you can also see past and current. So useful when you're in those doctor's appointments and they're asking you, what medication is this person on? And you're thinking, oh my goodness, what one is it? You can literally just get your app up and export it straight to the doctor. So you can even send it and say, look, this is all the information that we've got. This is what he's been on. This is what he's been previously on. You'll see here, I just said export. You can export all the data on here. So you can export the medication someone might be having. You can export the contingency plan. So you can make sure that, all that data can actually be recorded and sent to someone as well. So I'm going to stop there because I know it's a lot of information and we've only got about 5 minutes, but I'm available if we can go on a little bit for questions now. Have we got any questions? Should I bring myself on screen?
Hi, thank you for that. That was really interesting, and what a fabulous app that is as well. It sounds so multifunctional. So yes, we've had some questions coming in. through the chat, so let me just go through some of these. And like Georgie said, we might not be able to have time to maybe go through all those questions, but we'll see how much we can get sort of done. So one of the first ones was, does a carer's passport give you any further special leave or flexibility, and what is the advantage?
Well, a carer's passport won't give you that additional leave because that has to be confirmed by a manager. But what it does do is it will log, and it's a way of logging what you're doing in terms of caring for someone. And so your manager has signed that off. And if your manager is aware of the depth of what you're doing for your loved one and how you're managing work and caring, and if there's any special arrangements that you have with your manager, let's say your manager lets you go home at 4 o'clock on a Monday and 4 o'clock on a Wednesday when you should be working till 5:30, that should be documented in your carer's passport. So that passport has all those additional details that you might have as a working carer. Now, if you wanted to be granted more additional leave, that obviously has to be agreed with the manager. And then if it's approved, documented in that passport. So the passport doesn't give you the additional leave, but it supports your process of getting it. It holds all that information. And it's especially crucial if you're moving teams. If you're someone that is moved around a bit, or you have different managers, you want to have a document that has all of your arrangements recorded with someone, and managers approved it. So the next manager that you go, you can say, this is what I had previously agreed with. This is what the HR agreed. I expect that this will be obviously honoured, if that makes sense.
Yes, that does make sense. And another question we have is, I am in a household with my mom and disabled dad. Am I able to share these resources with my mom too?
Yeah, of course.
Okay.
Definitely.
And another one here, does a carer's passport allow you to buy more time off, which is paid, to attend appointments for your dependents, or is this down to manager's discretion?
It's down to manager's discretion, but what the carer's passport, like I said, it just documents everything. So you have it all written down, and that's so important. When you're dealing with a manager and you're requesting lots of leave, or you're requesting emergency leave, you want this to all be documented, don't you?
Yes.
And you want it to be approved, and it just helps you. You don't want to be in a situation where you have got some people have great relation. I've got a great relationship with my manager. I probably wouldn't feel like I need to document it, but if I didn't and then it backfired, that would be quite disappointing. So I think it's always important to have those conversations and approvals documented.
Yes, and just sort of part added to that question as well. It was also, can you make up your hours in the evening if you have to be out during the day, or is this down to the manager again? But I think George has explained there that again, just having that sort of chat with your manager there as well. And let's have a look here. So my mom is currently in a rehab centre recovering from a hip replacement, as she broke her original hip replacement. What should happen before she is discharged? We live together. She's got, will somebody or occupational health assess our house before she comes home? We have steps and stairs and showers with wide sort of thresholds. Do I need to arrange this assessment? And is there help for installing changes to house and technology, such as like fall alarms, ramps, heat safe, etc.?
That all exists, and you need to go and access that support. I'm going to put our advice line in the chat. That is the perfect that question. They will be able to help you. There is a process with hospital discharge, and as you can imagine, sometimes it's not followed perfectly. So you should have access to an assessment. You should have a carer's assessment. It's your legal right, and the council and local authority have a duty to do that. So what I would do is I'm going to pop our helplines email. I'm also going to pop my email in there as well. Please feel free to CC me, and I will speak to the team and make sure that your question is answered promptly. When do you need this? When is this happening? Sorry, it doesn't say. Is it just
No,
soon?
it doesn't say. But yes, I think there's quite a few questions, and I know that we're running out of time. But as Georgia mentioned, she'll also put in her email, so you can forward any sort of questions that haven't been answered today, and she's also going to put in the helpline to answer any other additional information and queries as well. And just run through the last couple of ones. So someone's put, is the Jointly app free?
Yeah.
Yes, so that was
Using the
a
code.
quick, easy one. Yes.
Yeah, so download
Okay.
it, and it's free. And then when you go through to creating a circle, it says $2.99. It's free for you because you just use the code CFCS.
Okay, and just maybe one more. So don't know what to do about my father-in-law's finances. I have an LPA for his healthcare, but not finances. Just got a letter through the post today saying that a bill needs paying for it, or it will affect the managing of his pensions. Do I have to pay it myself, as I don't think he will know what I am on about if I ask him? Just don't know what to do. So that sounds like quite a
So you've
long
got, yeah,
question.
so I think I'm assuming, is there some incapacity? Is your father of, yeah, that's quite tricky. So does your father not have access to, can he not act, he's just not capable of paying for his bills, I'm assuming?
It doesn't
Um,
mention anything about
yeah.
capacity there.
Do you want to email, if that person's still here, can you email
Yes.
me your inquiry? And I will get back to you on what you can do, and what help there is, in terms of financial support and aid. It sounds like maybe there's a power of attorney thing here that we need to also explain and kind of help you navigate as well. So
Yes.
yeah, please do email. I popped our advice line in the chat. That's our helpline. And then I've popped my personal email. Please feel free to email me if you have any follow-up questions. If you're concerned, like one of someone who's concerned about finances, please do email those through to me. I'm here to help. We've got some great advisors who can assist you on your inquiries, and I'll also be in the background making sure that they're doing them. So please do reach out if you've got any follow-up questions.
Yes, and thank you so much. Thank you so much, Georgie. It's been really insightful.
Oh,
We've had so many
pleasure.
questions come through that we haven't even just had the
I
time to sort
know,
of
I
go
feel a
through.
bit
So
bad. I'm
there's,
happy to
yeah,
spend another 7 minutes doing them, or 10 minutes,
I think
if
we
there's
can.
time, or
Yes,
I
I
don't
think
know.
we are slightly over time, sadly,
Yeah,
Georgie. But
okay.
like we said, you've got your sort of email address put into the Q&A tab as well, so people can
Yeah.
obviously send their queries and sort of questions there as well. And I'd just like to take this time to say thank you so much, Georgie, for a really interesting and insightful session today. It's been really interesting, hence all the sort of questions that we haven't been able to get through, and they're still pouring in now as well. So I just want to finish off really today by just going through what your thoughts and comments are, and we would really love your feedback from today's session. And as you can see, there's a QR code in there, and there's also a link in the Q&A tab for you to do this as well. And we'd just like to say thank you so much for joining, and we hope to see you again soon. Thank you.
Thanks,
Take care,
everyone.
everybody.
Thanks,
Bye.
bye.
Bye.